What is the best way to pray? Master used to say, the best prayer is, give me thyself, that I may give thee to all. We should pray in such a way that we want God to reveal himself. Don't pray for money and healing and those things. That's not the thing to pray for. When you turn your mind to God, ask to be one with God. I remember I was probably the first Westerner ever allowed in the temple in Gaya, where the Vishnupad, the footprint of Vishnu, is said to be. And the priest afterwards said to me, well, what do you pray for? Because I was sitting there in meditation and communing with God. They said, what do you pray for? I said, well, I pray for God's love. I pray for him to come to me. And the priest said, oh, how inspiring. I said, what do you mean inspiring? Isn't that what everybody ought to pray for? He said, oh, no, ask anybody. They pray for wife, husband, money, children, good job, all these worldly things. Don't bother God with those things. You'll get them anyway, according to your karma. Ask him for worthwhile things. Ask him for yourself, for your own enlightenment. But the most important prayer when you ask God for your enlightenment is, why don't you go down and get my book, Whispers? The most important prayer is to pray for other people too, to help them to know God. Give me thyself, that I may give thee to all. This is something that Yogananda prayed in his, and said that we should pray in his absolutely thrillingly beautiful book, Whispers from Eternity. And I've asked somebody to go downstairs and get it so I can show it to you. But it's a wonderful book. The prayers in there show you the basic attitude that every devotee should have that will win a response from God. I think of God as, why should he be bothered with useless prayers? And besides, most people, when they pray so in such a restless way. I know a cousin of mine, when her when her little child was born, had a heart problem. And she said, I never prayed as intensely as I did for my child's life. And I could not help it. I just was so upset with myself, because in the midst of my prayer, I was wondering what to make my husband for dinner, whether the milkman had left the milk this morning, all sorts of useless things. People don't have control over their minds. I suspect that God doesn't know which prayer to answer. You're asking him so many at once with that restless mind. This is the book, Whispers from Eternity, and I do very much recommend it. This is a painting on the inside expressing that mood, but I do very much recommend that you get this book, meditate on it. It's one of the deepest books I've ever read.